Forrest Gump was a wise man. He said life is like a box of chocolates. You never know what you're going to get. The same thing can be said when you tune into the Extreme channel. What kind of statue are we going to look at? Today, it's two naked giants fighting each other and a tiny, tiny person. As the Extreme channel is pushing towards 50,000 subscribers, these are just a few of the statues we are giving away on the journey there. If you want to know how to win one, stay tuned for later in the video. Hey guys, welcome to the Extreme channel. Before we get started, let's give a big shout out to our sponsor, the Extreme channel. If you haven't checked them out, they're an awesome YouTube. They have a web page. They're on TikTok, Facebook, Instagram. You can pretty much find them everywhere. I mean, look outside your house right now in the bushes. Thanks so much to the Extreme channel, paying for everything that's in front of us. Anyway, back to this amazing Attack on Titan diorama from Figurama Studios. So Figurama is a big anime studio. Actually, on the first piece they ever made, this Devil Man right here. And I think it's a fantastic piece, but I have no ties to the actual anime or manga. Attack on Titan, I do. 2 years ago, I caught the first series on Netflix, and I thought it was amazing. Kind of an interesting series is apparently some giants came out of nowhere, and they like to eat people. Well, Eren, who is arguably the main character, his family was eaten by the giants. So they created an army or a corps of people who actually Spider-Man their shit all over the tops of buildings to help take down these giants. And he really wanted to be in that, but he really couldn't cut it. However, magically, and I can't remember the reason why, or if we even found out the reason why, he has the ability to turn into a giant all of a sudden. It surprised him as well as a lot of other people. So the one on your right here, my left, is actually Eren as a giant. He's kind of inside that giant controlling it. Then the one on the right here is one of the most powerful giants. It's the Armored Titan. And then you even see his best friend, I think it's pronounced Masaka, is on the top here. I know I probably butchered that, but get over it. So that's a little bit of background about this piece. And again, made by Figurama Studios, which honestly, they're only about 3 years old or so, I want to say. And they do phenomenal work. I've also reviewed this piece right here. I didn't own it, but I had the chance to review it. Another phenomenal piece by Figurama. And this one is no exception. So let's dive into the Extreme review today and find out why this is so phenomenal, starting with concept of this piece. Now what they did here on the bottom, they have a base to me that kind of insinuates the wall. They build walls around all their different cities. And I like that they did that. So this sub base down here contains that. Then you have a huge explosion that's going on from the fight. Pieces of building are everywhere. Some are more detailed than others. Some are more put together. This is really a piece that you need to see from 360-degree angle. And what's interesting, what I like that they did, is all that smoke covers up the bottom of the Titans. So it kind of hides the illusion that their feet are there, even though you'll see during the assembly they are not. And the Titans and Eren, they don't have any specialized weapons. They just brawl it out. That's what you have going on here, a huge fist fight, rage coming out of them. You see pieces from the destroyed buildings all over them. It's like a moment frozen in the middle of the fight. You see a lot of action dynamic stuff going on, the smoke rising. Also, if I remember correctly, it's been about 2 years before I watched it. There's some kind of smoke that comes out of the Titans. I might be wrong on that, but it just looks awesome. And as I said, you have Eren's best friend up here. She's trying to take down the Armored Titan in the traditional way. It's an amazing diorama. I love every aspect of this. I remember when I first saw a video of it, I was like, oh yeah, that's coming to the Extreme collection. So I love the concept. It captures one of the coolest Titans. It obviously captures Eren. I think the one thing it's missing is if you could somehow have the back of him open and see the little Eren inside, I think that would really put it over the top. So for those reasons, I think it's a 4 out of 5. It's way better than average, but it's not quite perfect in my opinion. Design, assembly wasn't as easy as I hoped it'd be, and Figurama really gives you the royal treatment with the unboxing and assembly. So let's check that out. 2 very large boxes that were beat to hell. They do have an art box. I didn't quite pull it out, but this was the top of it. White foam with straps. So the first box had tons of pieces, as you see here. A lot of it is what goes on the base. Then the second box was the base and a few other pieces. They always give a certificate of authenticity, or a COA. This one had an art print with it as well, which is kind of cool. And then a book that not only talked about the statue itself, but it was also an instruction book that was decent in some areas and not so much in others. So as I said, assembly was a little bit difficult. The book's not 100% clear, but I think it's more clear than a lot of other studios. So it's definitely doable with what they actually give you. Now what you see is what you get. There's no other display options. Size on this beast, as you see, it's huge. The widest point is probably 25 to 26 inches. Tallest point, you go up near 24 inches or so. And the depth is probably pretty similar. The smoke billowing out adds a little bit to it. It's about 25 inches. For exact dimensions, check out Figurama's website or Spec Fiction. That's where I got this from. So design, I really can't think of a way to improve it. I don't want any other display options. They did great. The only disadvantage, and I don't think I'm going to knock them for it, is there's so much cool stuff going on the back that you'll never see unless it's a centerpiece display. So I think it's a 5 out of 5 on the design. Paint and sculpt is where Figurama knocks out of the park. This is no exception. While I don't think it's perfect, let's dive into it. So as we dive in, there's so much going on here, but we'll start it down here, the wall base we kind of talked about. I like the gold trim on the bottom, and then you see a few breakages and wear, insinuating the Titans are trying to break in through the wall. I like that a lot. They had kind of that brown dirt color. The biggest fail here, in my opinion, is the smoke. I think it could have been sculpted a little bit better. I think the colors are a little bit too dark. Although that is how it would be with a building collapsing, and you can see multiple buildings collapse. You see the pieces of the building. But there's just too much of it. It takes up so much, and your attention's kind of drawn to it, and it's done okay, not amazing. Not as amazing as the rest of the statue. Kind of another flaw they had is the building detail. Some of it's good, some of it's bad. Like, I love that they actually went in and put the planks of the floor, little cabinets and dressers. But when you look at the top of the building, it looks a little cheesy in my mind. And granted, this is often anime, so you're not going to see that extreme real detail, but you do see it in the Titans, which we're going to look at. So that's where I think it's kind of a contrast. So I like what they did, but some of it looks just a little plasticky. Probably the best way to describe it. I love how it's strung, all throughout though. That's pretty cool. And then you see the smoke on the Titans. We'll look at the Titans in a second. It is a different color. It's not that dark building collapsing color that you see down here. It is more of a lighter white with some yellow in there. The Titans look fantastic. So let's look at Eren first. His skin. You see the veins running throughout, the muscles. These Titans really look like they're wearing their muscles on the outside. And not just these two, but a lot of the different characters. I think the anatomy, the physique looks awesome. And I think they got the color spot on. Look at all the veins that are running through there. And his portrait is also spot on. I love how his hair is everywhere, insinuating the middle of this crazy battle. They have that double jawline. The sculpt and paint on the Titans is absolutely phenomenal. Let's check Eren's back down here. And of course, that's what you're drawn to. And then here's the armored Titan. So he's really showing the muscles on the outside with almost like this outer layer of bone. And I love the coloring on this. It's almost like this striped brown and black and yellow. And then even where that muscle part is, that looks like real muscle. It's fantastically done. I love the red. I love the striations in it. Incredibly cool. His portrait, I would have liked to see his mouth open, but they still did a really nice job. The yellow eyes there. And look at the paint on Eren's eyes really quick. They might be decals, but look fantastic. And here's some more shots of the anatomy of the armored Titan. Now this isn't something you want to display too low. Mine will be about one of the middle shelf, high back there. But look at his hair. His hair looks fantastic. Look at the detail in that. How the different strands are going everywhere and overlapping. Then even this right here, nice little addition, looks fantastic. It is plastic, but it doesn't look plastic. There's her canisters that help the firing mechanism that help her to jump Spider-Man from character to character, or giant to giant over the building tops. So overall, just some really great stuff. I think Figurama does it again. All right, again, I'm just not digging. There's too much of that smoke below. And that may be more of a conceptual thing, but I'm going to label it as the paint. Otherwise, I love everything else about the paint, so I think the paint's a solid 4 out of 5. Now with the sculpt, like we talked about, some of these buildings I think could have been done better, and the billowing could have been done a little bit better. The Titans, who's where your attention goes, I think are perfect. So I think the sculpt is also a 4 out of 5 on this piece. Now value. Interesting on this piece, Figurama always seemed to go for higher than the original value for the most part. They made 850 of these and they retailed at $1,400. So that is a lot, but you are definitely getting a lot here. And I think this is arguably one of their best, if not their best pieces. So I think the value is solid. However, with the 2 big boxes and shipping, you could probably get your money back, but I don't know anything else. So value, I'm still going to give it just a 3 out of 5 because, again, you're $1,600, $1,700 all in with shipping and taxes. And this does have a selected audience. Does this have the X factor? Is this a wow, a 5 out of 5 statue? You bet your ass it is. I think this is absolutely amazing. I'm putting this with that Evangelion that I recently gave to you guys because I think it's scaled very similarly. If you want to see the pictures of those together, make sure to check out the Extreme Channel Instagram, Facebook page, and TikTok. But I absolutely love this. I am 100% satisfied. Great job, Figurama. Makes me want to watch the rest of the seasons. So what do you guys think? Have you ever heard of this? Is it kind of weird? Is it kind of cool? Throw that down in the comments below because that could enter you into winning a statue. We will be giving all of these statues away, plus additional ones at every 5,000 subscriber milestone. To win one of these statues, all you have to do is make sure you've liked this video, you've subscribed to the channel, you've hit that bell notification, and then just drop a comment below. Every 5,000 subscriber milestone, we are going to do a random drawing and pick a random comment and give one of these statues away, plus some additional ones I'm not showing right now. The more videos you comment on, the higher your chances are to win. But thanks guys so much. I really appreciate it. I'm pretty sick if you can't tell that right now, not just in normal life, but with a kind of a cold. So make sure to hit that subscribe button. Make sure to hit that like. Give me props for doing this or I'm about to keel over. Thanks so much. Talk to you guys soon. Take care.